Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto Group.
There's the sun peeking through. Wait till these guys get back to Chicago. They're going to freeze. They're in warm and sunny Arizona for Game 3 of the 4-game series with the Diamondbacks, Cubs, and the D-backs after the Cubs lose one late last night. Zach Greinke, their ace. We're taking you up the first pitch just after top of the hour. Hello, welcome into Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. Along with Todd Hollandsworth, I'm David Kaplan. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Tough loss last night. I was watching the game. I was tired. I'm like, all right, 2-1. Bullpen's got to come in and nail this thing down. My eyes started to get heavy. I looked up. I'm like, oh, it's tied. Then lose 3-2.
Well, you know, Paul Goldschmidt comes up with a huge hit. You know, you say, oh, well, you had to get yourself in that position. You know, the first thing as a player, you look at it and you say, we missed on some opportunities. Sure. Listen, it's a one-run ball game late. You'd like to see mistakes not made to their best hitter. I get it. It really is the pitch that's out over the plate that Goldschmidt lines back through the box. But the point is, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position isn't good enough. First and third and nobody out, you got to get somebody in.
All right, now let's talk about Kyle Schwarber. He did talk to the media today. He's out for the year. Both Schwarber and Fowler and manager Joe Maddon talked about the play and moving forward before today's game.
You look back on it, you can't do anything different. It's just a freak accident. Ankle just happened to get caught up under him, and I think that's what caused, you know, when he hit me, for my knee to go. But, you know, there's nothing that I would say or he would say that we could do differently there.
You only call the ball if you know you can catch it. So, you know, I think we both were just going hard, being, you know, going at it, being competitive, and, you know, stuff like that happens.
It hurts, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's our new reality that we have to deal with right now. We're going to deal with it, and you know, we'll get him back. We'll get him in the clubhouse as soon as we can. Be part of it in that manner. But there's nothing you can do about it except make your adjustments and keep moving forward.
Obviously, was disappointed for, you know, about 30 minutes. Got to talk to some of the guys, and you know, they definitely brought my spirits up. You know, it's not the way that you plan your season going by, you know, playing 2 games and then now you're out for the season. But, you know, now I have to, you know, be there for them in a different way, not on the field, but, you know, whenever I can be, if that's, you know, cheer them on in the dugout, if I can ever make it back to a game, you know, or just being there, talking to them whenever, and, you know, them being there for me. So, you know, they reiterated that, you know, I'm still going to be a part of this team, which is means a lot to me.
All right, there's Schwarber. We're joined now by our Cubs insider from CSNChicago.com, Patrick Mooney. And as you watch this play, we'll get to Patrick in 1 second. As you watch this play, so many Cub fans are going, well, why didn't one of them call the other up? Please, again, for the 70th time, take everyone through the play and why you can't call a guy off on this ball.
Well, let me explain to people this. The ball is hit in no man's land is what you call it as an outfielder. Bottom line is this. If you watch the play and you watch both outfielders, their heads are projected towards the sky because they don't want to take their eyes off the ball. Why? Because it's a make or break play. They both know that they're going to have to lay out to catch this baseball. So when your face is pointed towards the sky and you're not taking your eyes off the ball, even if you were to call it, you're projecting your voice up, not out. And that's the other thing that's a factor in this. If somebody said something, you wouldn't hear them anyway. If Kyle's calling it and it's going up, Dexter Fowler's not hearing it. So you've got 2 guys going at it. Neither one wants to let the ball drop. They want to make the catch. And you have 2 guys conversing. The only thing that I would have ever said for myself, being a lifelong outfielder from the age of 8 all the way through my major league career, spent majority, almost all of my time in the outfield, is that Kyle Schwarber doesn't have that as part of his resume. You know, that little extra feel, that sixth sense that you have outfielders playing next to each other. That's just it. I would have gone after that ball with the same tenacity, the same speed, the same pursuit, with the idea that I'm going to lay out and catch that baseball, as Dexter Fowler did as well. This was unfortunately unavoidable, and that's what really did happen.
It's a freak accident. All right, now, Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider from CSNChicago.com, has been on hold. We appreciate Moons being with us. Patrick, you were there when the play happened, you were there after the game, and you were there just now when Kyle spoke. How would you characterize the mood, not only of Kyle Schwarber, but of the team itself? it's the new normal, as Joe Maddon said?
Well, I just asked Kyle Schwarber. We all know your work ethic, your intensity, your personality, but do you ever wonder deep down if you're ever going to be the same player again? And he said, I'm going to come back stronger, I'm going to come back faster, I'm going to come back better. So I think, this is obviously something that really shocked the Cubs. Theo used the word devastated, just knowing the type of person he is and how hard he worked to rocket through the system and be such an impact player in the postseason last year. But I think Kyle at this point has had a chance to process it. There's still a lot of details to be worked out in terms of when the surgery is going to be, where he's going to rehab. But he insisted that he's going to look at this as basically an entire year to get ready for next season. And the hope would be that he's ready, for that opening day lineup in 2017. But at this point, the Cubs can't definitively say that or really map out a timeline. It all depends on how the surgery goes, how the rehab goes. But as far as Kyle's makeup, the Cubs love that and think that'll be something that can kind of push him through what everyone knows is going to be a really difficult process.
I don't think that Jorge Soler would have liked the circumstances to have played themselves out this way, but this is an opportunity for him to be an everyday player. How has Jorge responded to this situation?
Well, I think we're going to find out. I mean, we heard a lot of rumors about Jorge Soler in the offseason as the Cubs tried to get some more pitching into the organization. Jorge is not quite a headliner yet, someone who could swing that deal. And I think the Cubs want to find out, what they've got. We saw what he could do in the postseason. He really rose to the occasion in those pressure situations. He seemed to get better. I think he admitted that, maybe his focus had drifted at times, and he was really able to turn it on in the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, just the other day in Anaheim, I was asking Joe Maddon about, is he going to get lost in the shuffle? Is it important to maybe boost his confidence, to be a designated hitter in Anaheim? And he's, with all these things, he says the game has a cruel way of making these decisions. And I think, you saw that here the other night in Arizona.
Moons, one last one for you. As you look at this team, and Joe Maddon is the wizard of all the different creative ways to use this lineup, how much do you think we'll see Kris Bryant in left field or Ben Zobrist in left and Baez at second? Do you think they'll see a lot of mix and match, or no, they're going to pretty much, for now, give this to Jorge Soler and let him run with it?
Both, Cab. I think Jorge Soler is going to get a chance to prove that he's the player he was coming out of Cuba, that kind of created this frenzied bidding war, and that he can be, a force in the middle of this lineup. But I think Joe's going to have all options on the table. I mean, he said Ben Zobrist, who really signed here because he wanted to play second base. That was part of the criteria, that he could see time in the outfield and go back to his super utility roots. Kris Bryant immediately moved to the outfield the other day. He's comfortable playing all three positions, even though deep down I think he really wants to stick at third base. And we'll see whether or not Javier Baez will be ready in time to join the team for this upcoming homestand at Wrigley Field. But, if you look at the way Theo and Jed built this roster, the emphasis was on depth and versatility and withstanding a 162-game season, and ideally for them, another month in the postseason. We'll find out, whether those bets are going to pay off.
Moons, appreciate the knowledge. We'll see you at Wrigley on Monday, and everyone should read your stuff tonight after the ballgame at CSNChicago.com. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, guys.
All right, let's take a look at today's pitching matchup brought to you by Bona, the original Italian beef. That stuff's awesome. Kyle Hendricks makes his 2016 debut. He went 8-7 with a .395 in 32 games in his first full season in the big leagues. He led the majors with 17 no decisions. Diamondbacks countered with their big offseason purchase. That would be their ace, $206 million man, Zach Greinke. He struggled in his season debut, allowing 7 runs, 3 home runs, takes the loss for the first time since '09, allowing 3 home runs. I mean, Colorado just pounded it.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely the truth, and you want to give the credit to the Colorado Rockies hitters, but at the same time, Greinke made some mistakes. You go back and look at this, there were some 0-2 mistakes, 0-1 mistake you see right there on the home run. He was up. I mean, that's what you heard from manager Chip Hale. You see it right there as well. That's what the Cubs want to exploit tonight. You don't let Zach Greinke settle in. This is not what we've seen so far from the Cubs. Is that that diligent grind out these at bats, get that pitch count up. You'd almost rather see them tonight going up against Zach Greinke, make those mistakes up in the zone and be ready to pounce on him, because if he settles in, he becomes the Zach Greinke that we're all familiar with. He is a control and command guy. He is not a 96, 97 mile an hour guy that blows you away. This guy knows how to pitch as well as anybody, and he does it at the bottom of the zone. If he finds it, he can be devastating, but you want to get him up.
All right, Cubs faced Greinke once last season when he was with the Dodgers. He allowed 3 hits over 6 scoreless innings in a 10-inning Cubs win on a gorgeous night, June 23rd at Wrigley Field. All right, let's take a look at the Cubs lineup for tonight, brought to you by our friends at Wrigleyville Sports. Fowler, 9 for 15 to start the season. He's rolling. Jason Hayward, Zobrist in the 3-hole. Rizzo, Bryant, Montero, Soler, Addison Russell, and Kyle Hendricks. So we're again seeing the pitcher in the 9th spot, and Fowler is just ridiculous.
Well, he's ridiculously hot right now, but the one thing that you're seeing is the way that this lineup is put together. Your hotter hitters there at the top. Well, we've talked about this a lot this year, the length of this lineup. Would love to see Soler, Addison Russell really start to swing the bat and prove the length of this lineup, that torturous, nowhere to stop, nowhere to catch a break, putting that out there on the mound. We've talked about it in the first few games that the Cubs have done that very well. Didn't see it nearly as much, but the numbers are starting to kind of tilt a little differently. So I'd like to see if you guys at the bottom of the lineup get going.
All right, Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group continues. Coming up next, we'll take a closer look at Kyle Hendricks' 2016 debut. One member of the D-backs who is off to a really hot start.
Cubs pregame live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
We try to stay directly within the Fields Auto Group. Fields has a wonderful reputation.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
They're as invested in me as a person as I am in them, and that makes a huge difference. It makes me come back.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I felt confident in buying because of the service and the fact that this dealership would stand behind it.
Fields matters because you matter.
Yeah, I'm married. Does it matter? You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Students across Colorado,
across New Jersey, across Illinois are raising standards and achieving great things.
They're listening to teachers. They're practicing hard
and testing their skills. That's a game plan for success. Go to gameplanforsuccess.org.
See schools that are knocking it out of the park.
Vote for your favorite, and we might visit them with a check for $5,000.
Learn more and vote for your favorite school at gameplanforsuccess.org.
For the we in team. That's why we're here. This week, get great deals on the best brands like Nike, Under Armour, Easton, and more. Only at Sports Authority.
Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. The Cubs and the Diamondbacks from Chase Field in nice, sunny, warm Phoenix, Arizona. Cubs trying to go to 4-1 on the season. Before we get to tonight's starter, Kyle Hendricks, you liked what you saw last night from Jason Hamill.
Outstanding. Boy, it was great. And you know what I loved was the mix of the secondary pitches were outstanding. I used to call it last year, and it kind of got away from him a little bit, the Hamill Hammer. I named it. I don't think anybody else has really picked up on it, but I love it. And when he's showing it and he's got a great feel for it, it is fun to watch. And boy, he had it on display last night. Great to see the big breaking ball. Got a lot of swings and misses at that. Just an outstanding effort from him.
All right, Jake Arrieta, John Lester, Jason Hamill have combined to allow just 2 total runs in their 2016 debuts. Up next, it will be Kyle Hendricks. Hamill pitching really well yesterday, gets the no decision. But we saw last year, his first half, he was filthy. Yeah. His second half, after he tweaked his knee and I think his hamstring, he was not so good. Now he pitches well in his first start. You got to see this out of Hendricks.
Well, I got to admit, I really enjoyed defending these two guys. I don't know why there would be such a buzz, but you know, everybody had this idea that we were going to build the super team of nothing but number ones in this rotation. These two guys have done nothing to disappoint. Kyle Hendricks' numbers, really even last year, his 3.95 ERA should have been lower based on the other numbers that he did. He struck out more hitters. He walked fewer hitters. He always seems to have that one big inning cap. If you remember back to last year, he typically would come out and be great and then have that one inning where he just can't seem to get his fastball out of the middle of the plate, and then you'd see some action. But for me tonight, that changeup's going to be big. I talk about a guy who's making his first start on the season. We know he's going to throw the sinker. We know he's going to throw the cutter. Occasionally, you'll see the curveball mixed in. But that bad contact pitch, that strikeout pitch, is his changeup. So look for that tonight. See if he's hopefully doesn't have too much adrenaline or he's amped up too much early in this ball game and that changeup's up. When it's down, it is as good as anybody's in baseball.
All right, let's take a look at Chip Hale's Arizona Diamondback lineup tonight that he'll trot out the home plate with. Segura, who is smoking hot. Owings, Paul Goldschmidt, who's always a terror. Peralta, Castillo, Yasmani Tomas, Brandon Drury, Zach Greinke in the 8th hole. He's a pretty good hitting pitcher. And Nick Ahmed, the shortstop.
I still look at this lineup and feel like there's ways to navigate. Of course, Segura swinging the bat. I mean, as well as we've seen him in quite some time. Remember, he used to play with the Brewers, and he was a different hitter. But what you're seeing right now is a guy at the top of the lineup who's on the fastball as well as he's been on the fastball in quite some time. You have to be wary of that. When you're going up against him, that's what he's sitting on. It's what he wants to do. And he's in the leadoff spot. He knows he's going to get a lot of fastballs, and he's using the whole field. So be careful. He does set up those two guys in the middle of the lineup. Their other two best hitters, Goldschmidt and Peralta.
All right, it's time for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. Gene Segura off to a white-hot start, batting .500, 3 home runs. He got the D-backs 8th inning rally started last night. He also hit the ball that eventually ended Kyle Schwarber's season. Comcast Business, built for business. This guy is really locked in.
As I said, he's been all over that fastball, and that's really the one thing that stands out. And you think back to the first game of this series. Well, that's the swing right there. You saw it. That was a fastball, but it was actually out of the zone up. It was almost at his eyes. He drives it out over the right field wall. You can tell what the mindset is with Segura right now. The first good fastball that I get hit, that I see out over the white, I'm taking a good, healthy hack at it. And he's been doing it all series long. And in fact, did it against the Rockies as well. That's why the numbers are what they are, hitting .500 on the season. So again, it might be starting him off with an off-speed pitch or getting that pitch, that first fastball off that plate and getting him back to chase, because he will. He loves to swing the bat. His career numbers tell you he's not going to walk a lot. He wants to swing. If you can get him chasing, you can get him out of his game.
Do you feel like the Diamondbacks have pushed their chips in the middle and what we're trying to win it right now? Because you sign Greinke, you give up the industry around, said, are you guys insane what you gave up for Shelby Miller? Because it set the price for pitching around baseball and really put the damper on a lot of trades.
Well, I think they saw it as an obvious change in direction. If they wanted to compete in this division, the National League West, with the Dodgers and the Giants, they needed to bolster their rotation. The rotation last year was okay. It wasn't great. But what you knew was you had to kind of protect it. And what that meant was you had to have a bullpen that was going to log the most innings in the National League last year. So what do? They go out and get a couple guys who last year put up 200-inning seasons, and you're expecting that from Greinke and Miller again this year. But they've got to be good, and they had their issues early in their first start. So, again, going into the tonight's start against Greinke, you would love to see the Cubs jump on him and kind of keep that message going that Greinke's off his game. But they did slide all those chips in.
All right, coming up next on Cubs Pregame Live, we will take a spin around the majors. Some interesting stuff, and one fat guy needs a new belt. We'll be right back on Cubs Pregame Live, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group.
I need a new belt? Oh, that guy.
See that?
April means
We try to stay directly within the Fields Auto Group. Fields has a wonderful reputation.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields of the Fields Auto Group. We simply treat people the way we want to be treated.
They're as invested in me as a person as I am in them, and that makes a huge difference. It makes me come back.
It includes our free loaners, free car washes, and cafes. It's all part of the Fields Matters program.
I felt confident in buying because of the service and the fact that this dealership would stand behind it.
Fields matters because you matter.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much does my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
At Discount Tire, we'll get you the right tire at the lowest price for your vehicle. Get a $70 Visa prepaid card when you buy any set of 4 Michelin tires.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
Homeowner Protection Services can help save your home. We specialize in foreclosure assistance, and that's all we do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Homeowner Protection Services now. Homeowner Protection Services has a network of attorneys, and our agents are available to speak to you now. New laws are in effect that may save your home. So call Homeowner Protection Services now.
Cubs and Diamondbacks finishing their pregame stretching, a little tossing, a little hitting, and they're ready to rock and roll. Game 3 of this 4-game weekend set in the Valley of the Sun. Welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. Let's take a look at some other NL action from today. First of all, a really good pitching matchup, Giants-Dodgers, a pitcher's duel out west. Bumgarner against Kershaw.
Oh, my.
Madison Bumgarner has just taken Clayton Kershaw deep for the second time in a year. How about that? Let's splash back to last year. Bumgarner. Same exact spot. Gone. Bumgarner is the only player with multiple home runs of Clayton Kershaw since the start of last season. Now watch him. You gotta be bleeping me. He can't believe it. Gone. Smoked. That ball was crushed. It is 2-2 in the 10th now in that game.
Really unexplainable. Clayton Kershaw, you ask anybody around baseball, and I get to talk to a lot of these guys, is easily the filthiest guy with the big breaking ball and the fastball. And he's got his number, man. 2 jacks against him.
All right, now this pudgy dude, I'll try and keep it nice. Pablo Sandoval had his belt explode while he's trying to hit a knuckleball from R.A. Dickey. Watch. He can't even fix it. The thing blew up. He's got to take it out. Look at this. This is just embarrassing. Come on, man. Get some pride. Push yourself away from the table a little bit. You're a pro athlete.
This poor guy can't win for losing. He's trying to do everything right now. And weight always seems to be an issue with Pablo Sandoval.
Well, the picture the first day of spring training.
I know.
His like sweat top pulled up and his guts spilling out over it. And he's a professional athlete making $90 million.
And my point being is unfortunately he lost his starting job with the Boston Red Sox, but he reported to spring training having lost, I believe it was 22 pounds. The problem that everybody had was nobody knew where on his body he lost the 22 pounds.
His earlobes got thin.
Unbelievable.
Sad. All right, let's take a look at the highlights from the NL Central this afternoon. The undefeated Pirates visiting the Reds. Rafael Iglesias dialed in for the Natty, striking out 5 and 5 2/3 innings, allowing 1 run on 8 hits. He was dirty today. 3-1 Cincy in the 7th. Eugenio Suarez goes deep off Kyle Lobstein. A 2-run jack. Suarez with 3 RBIs. Reds win 5-1, give the Pirates their first loss.
Well, this is something to keep your eye on. Our Pirates are clearly off to a good start. You know, they played well against the St. Louis Cardinals in that first series. But let me say this. I got to go to Pirates camp this spring training, and they said, listen, where we struggled was the National League Central last year. They had a losing record against this division. If they have any hopes of being division champs and winning the National League Central, we've got to do better against the guys that we play the most. And, you know, this is one of them. I mean, they did not play well against the Brewers or the Reds last year.
All right, time for our Fields Auto Group. Keys to the game. Holly, take it away.
All right. Let me clear that voice out for you. Those of you at home, I apologize. I'm still dealing with the flu a little bit. All right. Early offense, you want to jump on Greinke. Plain and simple. Listen. He's searching for rhythm. He's searching for confidence. He's searching for his timing. He was up in the zone against the Colorado Rockies. He was off his game. Half of the hits were in pitcher's counts, meaning he wasn't where he needed to be, and he certainly wasn't down in the zone. Now, we've talked about the Cubs and their great approach. It's almost the anti-approach to what you've seen so far. Love to see the boys in blue today get after it. The mistakes up there, you want to make him pay for those mistakes with a lot of loud contact, and I think that's a possibility. You don't want to see him settle in, get into rhythm, start using those secondary pitches because you're playing to his game. That's not what you want to see, so I'm actually looking for a little bit more aggressiveness. Situational hitting. Now, yesterday, 1 for 10 with the runners in scoring position. Honestly, they've been better here in the early going, but let me say this. When you got runners on first and third and nobody out, you got to cash that in. As much as we watch the meltdown at the end of the ball game, they've got to be better in those situations where they've got a chance to score some runs. And really, it's just the right kind of contact and understanding what the situation demands. So they've got to be better about that. 3 for 10 would have won yesterday's ball game. Hendricks, his changeup. The only thing that's concerning me here, it's his bad contact pitch and his strikeout pitch when he uses it. And when it's down in the zone, it's as good as anybody's in the game. Let me say this, though. It's his first start. Nerves, adrenaline can factor into this, so I'd like to see it work today.
All right, quick. Key performers. Crew gets to go first. They're going Bryant. I'm going Montero.
Ben Zobrist.
Ben Zobrist. We'll see you after the ball game. Thanks for watching. Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group.
This rusty mess isn't going anywhere. Don't trust it to just any cleaner. Trust CLR. CLR makes quick work of the toughest jobs, dissolving crusty white buildup so your shower runs like new. CLR cuts through hard water buildup and helps keep your washer running clean. CLR also earned the EPA's Safer Choice seal, so it's safer for your family. Trust the power of the CLR family and trust your clean to CLR. CLR is available at these fine retailers.
Ford is America's best-selling brand, and you can see why. Ford Fusion has the turbocharged power and efficiency of the EcoBoost engine and handles almost any condition with intelligent all-wheel drive. Plus, Focus offers next-generation voice-activated Sync 3 technology. Now get a Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash.
Yeah, not us.
Nah, no reruns here.
Yeah, we have X1 from Xfinity.
I think we'll just stick with our TV shows.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Get 4 times more TV shows and movies on demand with Xfinity. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
We are the Coors Brewing Company. And our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. A beer proud enough to wear our name in big, red, scripted letters. That's why we lager, filter, and package cold. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
Welcome to Chicago Cubs baseball on CSN, presented to you by State Farm. Beautiful late afternoon, early evening here in downtown Phoenix. Roof is open tonight as the Cubs take on the Diamondbacks in Game 3. Great to have you with us, Jim DeShays and Len Casper. Cubs have won 3 of their first 4 to start the 2016 campaign, and a big reason for that is the return of Dexter Fowler atop the lineup.
Yeah, how important does that look now with Kyle Schwarber going down for the season? Dexter Fowler coming off a very good year last year. He had a .350 on base percentage. He was 4th in the league in runs scored. He hit for power. He hit for average. He played a solid center field. He's doing all that and so much more here in the early going. He's constantly on base.
It looked like he was going to sign with the Baltimore Orioles after spring training had already started, and his teammates had actually, or his former teammates, they thought, had texted him congratulations. The next day he walked in.
Yeah, they got their catalyst back, as Joe Madden says. So when you go, we go, and you look at the numbers over the last 17 games, impressive stuff for Mr. Fowler.
It will be Kyle Hendricks, the Cubs' number 5 starter, making his season debut. Tough matchup. Zach Greinke will go for the D-backs.
Yeah, Greinke struggling with the flu last time out. Really struggled, allowed 9 hits, 3 home runs, 7 runs in just 4 innings of work. He was the runner-up to Jake Arrieta for the Cy Young Award last year. Kyle Hendricks will be making his first ever start here at Chase Field. Last year, an 8-7 season with a .395 earned run average.
So Game 3 of 4, the Cubs won the opener Thursday night. They scored 14 times in grabbing the victory. Last night, the Diamondbacks came back late, tied it in the 8th, won it in the 9th. We'll have Game 3 next.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing to hide.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, we're on the adventure of a lifetime, and we need something that can keep up.
Well, the RAV4 is tech-savvy, has an NHTSA 5-star overall safety rating, and plenty of cargo space for your gear so you'll be ready for anything. Now, what kind of adventure are we talking about?
You're looking at him.
Aw, double trouble.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on the all-new 2016 RAV4. Hurry in today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Why choose Feeney? The answer is simple. We're a family-owned 5-star certified dealership, and our #1 priority is customer satisfaction. Our experienced sales staff will assist you with every step of your new car purchase. And we have an excellent service department, including a full-service body shop for all your repair needs. Save this month with available 0% financing during the spring clearance event. See why more people are saying, I found it at Feeney. Find it at Feeney. FeeneyAutos.com.
The simple truth is, sometimes life isn't just. Someone crosses over the line, the best laid plans fail, or the sky falls, and lives are changed forever, and people suffer. And when that happens, you might find a system that is not just. That's the reason I began my career, because even when life isn't just, there can be justice, and everyone deserves justice.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan, back in our downtown Chicago studios along the river. We'll get you back out to Arizona for first pitch between the Cubs and D-backs in just a few minutes. Kyle Schwarber, Dexter Fowler, and Joe Madden all talked about the Schwarber injury and moving forward before today's game.
You look back on it, you can't do anything different. It's just a freak accident. My ankle just happened to get caught up under him, and I think that's what caused, when he hit me, for my knee to go. But, you can't, there's nothing that I would say, or he would say, that we could do differently there.
You only call the ball if you know you can catch it. So, I think we both were just going hard, being, going at it, being competitive, and, stuff like that happens.
It hurts, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's our new reality that we have to deal with right now. We're going to deal with it, and we'll get him back. We'll get him in the clubhouse as soon as we can. Be part of it in that manner. But there's nothing you can do about it except make your adjustments and keep moving forward.
Obviously, was disappointed for about 30 minutes. Got to talk to some of the guys, and they definitely brought my spirits up. It's not the way that you plan your season going by playing 2 games and then now you're out for the season. But now I have to be there for them in a different way.
All right, that is going to do it from our downtown Chicago studios. We will see you after the ball game for the post-game show. We'll see you then. Go Cubs.
What's the internet saying about the quesalupa?
I have romantic feelings for the quesalupa. Oh, my. Quesalupa for president. I saw a picture of a quesalupa in a newspaper, and it made me pick up a newspaper. Yo, the quesalupa is banging. Yeah. About to ascend to food heaven on the cheese-filled wings of the angels.
Taste what the internet is raving about. The quesalupa from Taco Bell.
Honda believes in helping you use your garage to its fullest potential. That's why we're offering great deals on the things you'll want in your garage, like the Honda CR-V. The best-selling SUV in America comes with a standard multi-angle rear-view camera and plenty of cargo space. Great for transporting lots of stuff, say to storage or the dump. Hurry to the Honda Dream Garage sales event. You've got a garage to fill. The most durable, longest-lasting brand in its class has great deals. Now at your Honda dealer.
Menards Crazy Days sale has amazing deals going on right now. Save $14 a gallon on Dutch Boy DuraClean interior paint. Only $9.98 after sale price and rebate. This 1900 PSI pressure washer is $99. Get half off this 4-pack of dimmable LED flood bulbs, $9.99. This 20-piece food storage set is just $11.99. Stop in during Menards Crazy Days sale, where the prices are so low they're crazy. Hurry in, sale ends Sunday.
Push, fall, rise, repeat. Push, fall, rise, repeat. Push, fall, rise, repeat. Push, fall, rise, repeat. Push, fall, rise. The first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs on CSN Chicago begins next week.
If tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Might have the biggest crowd of the weekend. The roof is open. It is a glorious late afternoon here in Arizona. And let's check out the Cubs Southwest starting lineup that will face Zach Greinke. Dexter Fowler, we talked about him in the open, off to a sizzling start. Jason Hayward is in right. Another newcomer, Ben Zobrist, playing second, batting third. Anthony Rizzo's at first, followed by Chris Bryant. Miguel Montero, good numbers in his career against Greinke. Jorge Soler is in left. Addison Russell at short, and the pitcher, Kyle Hendricks.
Diamondbacks defensively, a pretty good unit, very good unit, as a matter of fact. Yasmani Tomas, who might be the weak link out in left. Chris Owens, an infielder, is taking over in center these days, at least part-time. Big arm in right with Peralta, the middle. Ahmed and Segura really good. Segura making the move from short to second this year. Drury and Goldschmidt on the corners. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks here tonight is Zach Greinke. He'll try for the second time this year. Last year he was lights out, 19-3 with a 166 earned run average. Opposing batters hit 187 against him.
That was the lowest earned run average in the majors since 1995, that 166. Eric Cooper, Jim Wolf, Adrian Johnson, and Gary Cederstrom are the umpires tonight. So here we go. Dexter Fowler will lead it off, and you see the Diamondbacks going with bloody sock night. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah, you got kind of a lava lamp vibe going.
There you go. And Greinke's first pitch is a fastball at 91 off the outside corner to get us started.
Yeah, Greinke is not a real hard thrower. He'll typically sit right around 92 miles an hour, but it's the mix of pitches and the command of the pitches. Any pitch in any count usually has very good command of his breaking stuff as well as that fastball. Going to throw 2-seam and 4-seam fastball, cut a little bit, curve, slider, a dandy of a changeup.
Temperature at 82 degrees as we get started. And a called strike to make it 2-1. Hayward and Zobrist also due here in the Cubs first. A roller that Goldschmidt will let go, and Segura fields. That'll go 4-1. Greinke is a terrific athlete. He can hit, he can field. He's won a Cy Young, Gold Glove, Silver Slugger in his career.
Yeah, a couple Gold Gloves, and this time he does a nice job getting over. And a lot of times you'll see a pitcher quit on that ball a little bit because they think the first baseman's going to stay home, and it'll be an easy routine 4-3 put out. You cannot make that assumption. $6 years, $206.5 million, the deal Greinke signed to leave the Dodgers and come here to the desert. Kind of like the Cubs acquiring Hayward and Lackey. It's addition by addition and also addition by subtraction because he's no longer a member of one of their chief rivals over there in LA.
Greinke utilized the opt-out clause in his Dodger deal, so that nullified the final 3 years. 6 years, $206.5 million here. The annual average is over $34 million per season. That's the highest in Major League history, and at some point down the road we'll say at the time it was the highest annual average.
Probably until this winter. And just a little difficult to getting together with Castillo there. Stepped off, wants to restart.
Line drive, base hit. So Hayward is aboard. He is 4 for 8 in the series, plus 3 walks.
Second baseman, number 18, Ben Zobrist.
Two-seam fastball with a little run away from Hayward, but not much sink. Greinke also good at shutting down the running game.
Zobrist 5 out of 16 to start the season. Greinke had his worst start in almost 4 years on opening day.
Yeah, was under the weather, apparently suffering from flu-like symptoms. He's got to be feeling the heat, right? To sign that big contract, there's a certain level of expectation.
It's the changeup.
He'll go 87, 88 miles an hour. That changeup, he gets a lot of swings and misses with it.
We should see a lot of good changeups tonight.
Yeah.
Right? With Kyle Hendricks pitching for the Cubs. Now, his fastball is about what Greinke's changeup is velocity-wise. And the 0-2.
It's kind of with Greinke's, I guess you'd almost term it a power changeup, which is kind of an oxymoron. But he goes 91 to 93 for the most part with the fastball, and that changeup 87, 88. So there's not a big separation, but it's real sharp, good biting action. Just a little bit of off speed plus the movement is all he needs.
Working Zobrist exclusively away in this sequence. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Greinke's from Orlando, Florida. 6th overall pick, 2002, of the Kansas City Royals. Zobrist briefly a Royal last year, and he will get a World Series ring as a result. Missed again.
Everything away, away, away.
Who's going to give in? 3-2 on Zobrist.
Normally you can count on Zobrist to make contact, so this would probably be a go situation for Hayward.
And he takes off, and Zobrist with a base hit. That ball almost hit Hayward. Jason on his way to third. Cubs have him on the corners with only 1 out for Anthony Rizzo.
Good to put a little early pressure on Greinke after the rough outing last time. Good pitch, good swing of the bat, sinker moving down and away. And Zobrist, his eyes were kind of out there. Every pitch he had seen was out there in that quadrant.
Well, that ball almost hit the base runner, and Hayward would have been called out. So now it's Rizzo. We'll see how the Diamondbacks play this in terms of their shift. As they'll try to turn 2 here. Good swing by Anthony as he fouls it back.
Yeah, they're looking for 2. Now Segura, the second baseman, has not shifted over into what you would consider typical double play depth. He's trying to plug that hole a little bit more so on the right side. Good hack by Anthony. Boy, he had a big night here in game 1 of this series. Drove in 6.
Greinke last year was the Cy Young runner-up. Jake Arrieta, who will pitch for the Cubs tomorrow, won it. Greinke finished 2nd. That's how great Arrieta was. Greinke had a 166 and didn't win the Cy Young.
I know. I was putting his numbers in my scorebook today, and that's exactly what I was thinking. It's how do you do what he did and not win the Cy Young award? And the same thing would apply to Arrieta had he not won. And you could have made a pretty decent case for Clayton Kershaw as well.
Absolutely.
There's the guy who got it. Richly deserved, and boy, he got out to a great start on opening day.
1-2 to Rizzo. On the ground and into center. Hayward scores. Zobrist on his way to third. 3 consecutive singles, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
Now the irony is, if Segura were playing normal double play depth, that's probably a double play ball. Again, trying to protect the hole a little bit, playing a little more on the pull side, and look at Rizzo working that magic wand. Just a flick of the wrist.
Chris Bryant still only 1 out. This is the 6th game for the Diamondbacks, so they've gone 1 time through their rotation. That will get into left center. Zobrist is in. Rizzo to third. Bryant trying for 2, and he's safe. 2-0.
Well, we have seen a lot of Mike Butcher here. Game 1 of the series, he was out there 5 or 6 times in an early visit for Greinke. This time it's a breaking pitch. Bryant jumps all over it. Ahmed, the shortstop, is just a tremendous fielder, but he couldn't flag it down. There's the play at second. Great base running by Bryant.
The best start the first time through the rotation came from their number 5 starter. That was Robbie Ray last night. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. They come in to tonight with an 8.54 starters ERA, and that'll go up here in the first inning. Now Miguel Montero.
With guys like Greinke, we only get a lot of starting pitchers, but a lot of times that's the old adage with the best guys. If you don't get them early, you're not going to get them. Mickey, the right man for the job here. Good numbers against Greinke in his career. 308 batting average, 8 out of 26 with a couple of home runs.
Starting the season 2 for 11 with a homer and 3 RBIs. Bounced foul. Well, playing off your line about getting an elite pitcher early makes these 2 runners here pretty important to get in. And if you're Greinke at this point, giving up just 2 would probably feel pretty good.
Yeah, and they've got the infield back here, so if Montero can put it in play to the middle of the diamond, they're going to get at least 1 more home.
Deep drive to left, back toward the wall, and caught. It will drive in the run. Montero just missed a home run. As it is, it's a sac fly. Rizzo's in. It's 3-0. That had a really good sound off the bat.
Yep, and that was a big part of Montero's game last year. Opposite field power. Hit a number of his home runs in that direction. Just a little bit short here, but good enough to get that 3rd run home. He's leaning. He's looking. Have to settle for a sac fly.
So Bryant, bottom of your screen, the only base runner left. Soler with a 1-hopper, knocked down by Drury, and everybody's safe. It should be a hit for Soler. No, they're going to give him an error.
Wow, ball really well struck. And I guess you could make the case that a big league third baseman should make a play on that, but another great swing of the bat. Greinke's not fooling anybody here. But that swing right there, how that top hand comes through and he rolls over a little bit. If they can get him to kind of stay thinking more center, middle of the diamond, and stay through the ball and create a little lift, it's going to hit that ball 430 feet. He is so strong.
Addison Russell with the pitcher, Kyle Hendricks, on deck. He has not even thrown a pitch this season.
He's like, yeah, this is going to be my year, man. And a 3-0 lead.
Bounce to Drury. And that will end the inning, but the Cubs put up 3 on Greinke, and Hendricks will pitch next.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
It's 400 feet to the center field wall at Wrigley Field. It's about 400 feet from the front to the back at Binny's Beverage Depot in Lincoln Park. We have 3,000 beers, 4,000 spirits, 7,000 wines, and one of the coolest bars in Chicago. Holy cow.
Taking the hassle out of yard work just got even easier. During the Echo National Sales Event, get a pro-grade Echo trimmer or handheld blower for only $149.99 each, backed by a 5-year warranty. But hurry, these deals will be gone before you know it. So take back your yard with Echo.
And the #1 window and door company in America is
Feldco.
To celebrate this amazing achievement, Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
On behalf of the entire Feldco team, thank you. And remember, 2 windows for the price of 1 ends soon. So hurry, call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Diamondbacks 2-3 on their season opening homestand. Now their Southwest starting lineup. Gene Segura off to a huge start. Owings, Goldschmidt, Peralta, Wellington Castillo, the catcher. He got that 9th inning game-winning rally started. Tomas ended it with the big hit. Drury at 3rd. Greinke, the pitcher, batting 8th, and Ahmed, the shortstop, hitting 9th.
Set the Cubs defensively for you. Soler gets another start out there in left. Fowler center. Jason Hayward, a 3-time Gold Glover, is in right. Bryant Russell, Zobrist Rizzo on the infield. Montero behind the plate. Lexus pursuing perfection. Starting pitcher for the Cubs tonight is the pitch maker, Kyle Hendricks. 8-7, 3.95 ERA last year in 32 starts.
And his first pitch to Gene Segura is taken for a strike. 3 more hits, 2 runs last night. Segura 5 for 8, 2 doubles, 2 home runs in the series. He's 11 for 22. It's a 500 batting average through 6 games. First Diamondback to start a season with 5 straight games of at least 2 hits.
Junior Spivey never did it.
No. Nor did Kelly Stinnett. Bounding ball picked up by Addison Russell for the out.
Well, when he's on his game, it'll be a busy day for the infielders. This gets a lot of ground balls with that sinker and change up. He'll cut his fastball and flip up to the occasional curveball.
Turned 26 in December. 6'3", 190. And starting his 2nd full and 3rd overall major league season. Chris Owings takes a strike. Pinch ran in the 9th. Last night scored the game-ending run. Missed the cutter that time, and it's 0-2. Bryant will charge, and he got him. Close play at first. 2 down.
First baseman, number 44.
Gets around that ball and slings it on over. The stretch from Rizzo helps out. 2 quick outs for Hendricks. I would think the infielders would say they love playing behind Kyle Hendricks. Works quickly, throws a lot of strikes. They get a lot of action.
Born in Newport Beach, California. Went to college at Dartmouth. One strike on Cub killer Paul Goldschmidt. Knocked in 2 last night, including the game-tying run in the 8th inning off Pedro Strop. Two and one. Tomas with his first major league game-ending RBI hit. Single off Trevor Cahill in the 9th inning.
Kyle may have gotten away with one there. They were trying to get in on the hands of Goldschmidt. That one caught a good chunk of the plate. He was down, however.
A couple of those guys on the left trying to get into the action. I would think we'll see them in the next day or two. That's Clayton Richard and Adam Warren. Nice 1-2-3 start for Hendricks.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you.
We're never having kids.
Breathe.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Get fresh looks and fresh deals during Rent-A-Center's spring sale. Hurry in and get an Amana washer and dryer pair or a multimedia bed with built-in Bluetooth speakers. Your choice, just $19.99 a week. Only at Rent-A-Center. Yeah, you can do that.
Welcome, everybody. Let's take a look at today's action. Using all-wheel control, they're moving with such confidence over this terrain. The new 2016 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Make your drive a sport.
Come in now and get 0% APR for 72 months.
Let's go.
That's pretty sweet. The starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls.
This is the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened in my life.
You're watching Chicago Cubs baseball on CSN, brought to you by State Farm. One in the books. Cubs lead 3-0. Our Xfinity high-speed action, and the Cubs jumping on Zach Greinke early.
Boom, 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 boom. 4 consecutive hits and a sacrifice fly. Single, 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 double. And then the sac fly from Montero to finish the scoring.
So here's Kyle Hendricks leading off. Low for ball 1. 071 in his short career. And that average will go up. Ball gets by. Hendricks will hold. That's always a little scary.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Peralta, the former pitcher's got a big arm out there, and you know he was shallowed up.
Center field, Fowler.
But a knock. 5th one of the game already for the Cubs.
Goldschmidt had to be careful. He couldn't stretch too far.
If he comes all the way over, that's going to be real ugly. Yeah. He's taking a knee in the chin, and they both might have come out of it in pretty bad shape.
Fowler grounded out to start the ball game, and he shows bunt. Pulls it back, takes a strike.
Good numbers across the board last year for Dexter. 4th in the league in runs scored. Career best 17 home runs. 350 as a leadoff man last year in terms of on base percentage.
Tapped foul. Greinke, the Diamondbacks opening day starter. Quickly, can you name last year's?
Last year's opening day starter
for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Arizona Diamondbacks. Wasn't Patrick Corbin because he was hurt. Josh Colementor.
You're right. It was. He's on the DL, by the way. Swing and a miss on the changeup for a strike 3. It's his first strikeout of the game.
Cubs fans, show your support of Cubs baseball from the beginning. The Cubs return home this Monday. It's a home opener. It's opening week at Wrigley Field. Tickets are still available, especially for Wednesday and Thursday night's games with the Cincinnati Ball Club. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
And if you're coming Monday night, make sure you get there early. The gates are going to open a little early. Cubs have added metal detectors at all the Wrigley Field gates. I think 4:35 the gates will open. There will be a learning curve, so you're going to want to build in some extra time.
Yeah,
taps foul.
You don't want to miss the opening day festivities. You don't want to be stuck in line, so get there early. Come on in. Have a beverage. Grab a little chow. Soak in the atmosphere.
Forecast is improving for early next week in terms of a lack of precipitation. That's good. It's going to be chilly, but as long as we're dry. The Marlins Nationals game was colded out in D.C. today, so they'll make that up as part of a split doubleheader in May. Popped up by Hayward. Ahmed's got it. 2 down.
Second baseman, then Zobrist.
Zobrist will bat with the pitcher still at first and 2 outs.
Greinke shaking his head, a little out of sorts.
He played the coldest game in the history of Comerica Park today. It's 31 degrees at game time. Yankees behind CC Sabathia beat Detroit 8-4.
It's a lot of hitting for a 31-degree day.
It was 32 in Chicago, and the White Sox beat the Indians 7-3. Chris Sale is 2-0.
I would have taken the under on that one too.
I'm not even going to look it up. I'm going to say Chris Sale's leading the league in wins. 3-0.
Facing Chris Sale on a 32-degree day. Hang with him.
I saw the quote on the Tribune today. It said something like from Chris Sale. It said pitching on days like this, it's like getting punched in the face repeatedly. He said that eventually kind of you never quite get used to it, but you know it's coming.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's typically it's advantage pitcher when it's really cold. But there becomes a point where it's so cold, where it's just miserable for everybody. And I would say 32 degrees is probably, would qualify as miserable for everybody.
Yeah, here's the quote, Paul Sullivan's piece. I told John Danks, pitching in cold weather is like getting punched in the face. You never really get used to it. You just handle it better. He walked him.
Always patient Ben Zobrist on base for the second time.
First baseman Anthony Rizzo.
It is very early. But 4 games in, I looked up the Cubs' offensive strikeouts to walks ratio. It's 1.52. So for every walk, they strike out 1.5 times. That was second in the majors. Last year it was 2.68. It's put them just slightly worse than major league average. Anthony Rizzo, a high fly to right. And Peralta will make the catch. And the addition of a guy like Zobrist certainly helps in that department.
This isn't a car. It's a Mini. There's a difference. Our wheels are pushed out to the corners. Our iconic design is beyond compare. And our heart is right where it belongs. Donating to Feeding America with each test drive. And giving you $1,000 additional cash off any new Mini. It's the Mini April Invitational, running from the 15th through the 24th.
He wasn't just a good player. He was a superstar.
It was us against the world.
He had a kind of fury in him.
He's taking horrible abuse and death threats. He took on everything that we were afraid to face and faced it.
We will inspire the greatest vote in the history of this nation.
He wasn't just a really good second baseman. He changed the entire country.
No thanks, I have X1 from Xfinity, so.
Don't fall for DirecTV. Xfinity lets you download your shows from anywhere. Sign up today or get started with this great offer. Call or go online today.
I used to like that song.
Join CSN Chicago this Monday for a Coors Light basketball viewing party at Rookies in Hoffman Estates. Watch the Bulls take on New Orleans. That's the Pelicans. With free CSN giveaways and enjoy ice cold Coors Light.
Hey, congratulations to former Chicago Cubs Starlin Castro in that Yankee win. He had 2 hits today, the second of which was career hit number 1,000.
He's off to a great start.
He's only 26 years old. He's 9 for 20, batting .450 with 8 RBIs in his first 5 games. David Peralta takes a strike.
He's got a funny little mannerism, doesn't he? The way he kind of sets the bat back and then just bing, drops it forward. Right there.
Rolled foul. Why do guys do that?
Do what?
Smell their bat.
The burning wood.
Burning, they like that?
Yeah. Because after they hit a fair ball, they don't have time to stop and smell it.
Right.
It's
outside.
Like, you're probably too young, but when I was in school, when they used to use, I guess it was the mimeograph machine to run off the test, and then they pass them out, and all the kids would hold them up and smell them. It kind of smelled like wine, the ink.
Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss on the changeup. This week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. I don't want to have to look it up, but where did, wake up and smell the roses? We know how that started.
I don't know. Well, it's wake up and smell the coffee.
Or smell the coffee.
Yeah, and it's stop and smell the roses along the way.
Yes,
yeah.
stop and smell. I was thinking stop and smell the roses, and I mixed my my cliches.
Stop and smell the coffee along the way.
There you go. But yeah, why do you have to smell roses? Because they smell good.
Yeah.
Two 2-0 on Wellington Castillo. That's in for a strike. He's caught the entire series for the Diamondbacks. Still 2-2.
Good strikeout numbers for Kyle Hendricks. Last year, you think of him as a pitch to contact guy, but he got plenty of strikeouts, better than league average with a 23% strikeout rate.
Russell to Rizzo. Yasmani Tomas last night.
Yeah, pitch got away from Trevor Cahill, trying to go down and away with a sinker, and it ran up and in on his hands. He just muscled into left field. The Diamondbacks kind of stole that game. I think the Cubs were really in control of that game early. Had some opportunities to get away in the middle innings, hit into some tough luck. It felt like a Cub win for 7+ innings. Some late heroics, and the D-backs pick up the W. And no win for Jason Hamill last night, but a very good effort.
That's a strike, 1-1.
Hamill last night allowed just 1 run in 6 innings. 4 hits, 3 walks, struck out 6. And first time through the rotation, and the results have been good. Outstanding from Arrieta and Lester. Lackey struggled, got hit around early in his outing, but to his credit, hung in there and ended up picking up a win. At 14-6, was that the final here the other night?
14-6. Sharply hit, but right on the ground to Ben Zobrist. So Hendricks keeping the ball out of the air early on.
Oh, babe, you need razors?
Oh, I can still use my old blade.
Who?
Don't labor with an old razor because new ones are so expensive. Shave with a fresh blade anytime. Try DollarShaveClub.com.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin. If you've been hurt at work or injured in an auto accident, I'd like to be your lawyer. Please call me at 312-600-0000. Ankin Law. Injury law. Made personal.
When you call one, you call them all.
During 1 week to deal, get $4,000 combined cash allowance plus $500 bonus cash on the 2016 Grand Caravan.
When you're ready to buy a house, a mortgage from U.S. Bank could help make it possible. And a dedicated financial partner will be with you every step of the way. See about pre-qualifying today. U.S. Bank, the power of possible.
Now for Chicago.
Cubs lead 3-0. There's Bob Brenly, our good buddy. And he's been back here in Arizona as a broadcaster for 4 years. And Mark Grace, the ex-Cub first baseman, Diamondbacks assistant hitting coach. Always good to see those guys.
BB was flashing his World Series ring in here earlier.
Yes, he was, as he should. Strike on Chris Bryant. And back to the Cubs strikeout walks thing offensively. I think this team will lead the league in walks. A lot has been made of their penchant to strike out. They will strike out a lot. They might even lead the league again. In a lot of cases, strikeouts are just outs, deep counts, the whole deal. Not cutting down on your two-strike swing. Might hit a home run. You might strike out. So all of that stuff being said, but with Zobrist here, with Hayward here, with these young hitters maturing a little bit, I do think we'll see generally the strikeout rate go down a little bit, and the walk rate actually on this team collectively could go up. And so it's, to me, it is that ratio that's important, because if you have a high strikeout, low walk team, that's not so good.
No, but if you strike out a lot, but you still walk a lot.
Correct.
And you have, a more measured approach in certain situations. I think that's the thing that Joe Madden found frustrating at times last year, and John Maley as well, that it's not so much striking out, it's what in situations where you really have to make contact, and guys at times weren't willing to make an adjustment. Man on third base, less than 2 outs. Man on second base, nobody out. You're down a couple strikes. Okay, let's make sure we put the ball in play now. Yeah, we took a couple shots to drive him in. Now I've got 2 strikes. I got to emphasize putting the ball in play, trying to get him over.
Montero gets a hold of another one, and this time it'll drop. He's trying for 2, and he is in with a double. That ball landed near where the collision occurred the other night, as Owings and Tomas this time came together.
Yeah, this maybe not quite as deep as the other night, but Tomas peeled off a little bit here to avoid a big hit. Or I shouldn't say peeled off, but maybe backed off, decelerated a little bit. Montero, who did not get to start in the ball game yesterday and was 0 for 6 in the opener of the series, he wants to do some damage here back in Arizona, and he's off to a good start this afternoon. Sac fly, RBI, and now 1-out double.
Strike called on Soler. He reached on a tough error charged to Brandon Drury in the first inning. Cubs on top of Zach Greinke, 3-0. They got their runs in the first, trying to add on here in the third. He hasn't had an easy inning yet. And he got him. 2 down.
How do you get to Wrigley Field? Practice, practice, practice. The Cubs suggest taking public transportation. The Cubs do offer a free bike check, now located by the Addison Red Line Station. For drivers, the Cubs provide free remote parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. For more information, visit the A to Z guide at Cubs.com. For what it's worth, and it's not worth a lot, but the good folks in media relations with the Diamondbacks bothered to put it in their notes, so I'm going to read it. Zach Greinke, after his last 4 losses, and starts after his last 4 losses, has a 0.34 ERA. That's going back a couple of years because he only lost 3 games all last year.
Well, that'll go up after tonight.
Yeah, he had allowed 1 earned run in 26 2/3 innings in those 4 ball games.
Sounds like he is doing the Nolan Ryan.
He got a little, Monica Seles
grunting on a lot of his pitches. Well, in graphic form, what you just said.
Yeah, Nolan used to grunt every now and then. Rick Aguilera used to just exhale. Big loud puff of air.
This will be Greinke's 50th pitch coming up. Cubs already have 6 hits.
Segura in there trying to tighten up Montero a little bit at second base. Not that he's going anywhere, but he's not a speedy guy. So if you can cut down on his jump a little bit, you would have a shot at throwing him out on a solid base hit to the outfield. You got a real speedy guy there, you don't even bother because he's going to score on any hit to the outfield. Do you think it would be effective if you grunted really loudly and threw a changeup? Like you gave a fastball grunt and threw a changeup?
I think that would theoretically be effective.
A change of voice as opposed to a change of pace.
I guess the other question would be, is it a voluntary grunt? A lot of tennis players would tell you they're just breathing. He got him. 3-0 Cubs in the 3rd.
Performance reimagined. Style reinvented. Sophistication redefined. Introducing the all-new Lexus RX and RX Hybrid. Agile handling. Available 12.3-inch navigation screen and panorama glass roof. Never has luxury been this expressive. This is the pursuit of perfection.
What would we be without our mountains? Without the things that stand in our way, that make us better? At Coors, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. Lagered, filtered, and packaged cold. Our mountains make us who we are. Your mountains make you who you are. Whatever your mountain, climb on.
What if there was a paint that made you look at paint differently? Question everything you know and what you don't know. What if it's built with better ingredients, given superpowers, and even a secret base to test those powers? Since Benjamin Moore reinvented paint, it makes you wonder, is it still paint? Find Benjamin Moore paint only at one of our authorized retailers near you.
Wednesday night, watch 2 of the NL's top first basemen swing for the bleachers as Anthony Rizzo and the Cubs face Joey Votto and the division rival Reds. Beginning at 6:30 with Cubs Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto on CSN+.
27. Sign up for the Chicago Cubs baseball summer camps presented by ATI Physical Therapy and Ideal Industries. Young sluggers ages 5 to 13 will suit up in Cubs gear, meet a current Cubs player during a VIP Wrigley Field visit and receive top-notch baseball instruction around the Chicagoland area. To enroll your child in the camp experience of a lifetime, go to Cubs.com/kids. Brandon Drury rolls one foul.
Good pitch. A cut changeup settles right over the outside corner at the knees. Look at the location of these two pitches. Inside corner at the knees, outside corner at the knees.
Drury getting his first start of this series. Second of the season. And he lines one to left. That is their first hit. Leadoff single to start the bottom of the third. And we'll bring up Greinke, who have had the pitcher hit 8 every day but 1 this week.
Ball stayed up just a little bit, and Drury able to take advantage. This normally would be a bunting situation, but with Greinke, maybe not. Down 3.
Now he can swing the bat. And he does bunt, and it is foul. Silver Slugger 2013. He hit .328 that year. He's got 4 career stolen bases.
Yeah, you know, if I were them, I would be more inclined to play hit and run with Greinke. I mean, you trust him to put the ball in play. I just don't know if I want to give up and out at this stage of the game. Down 3. Now, if you got a pitcher up there who can't hit, yeah, absolutely, straight sacrifice.
Yeah, I'm with you. Cubs are gladly taken out in this spot. 2 balls and a strike as Greinke gets his signs from Matt Williams. Two and 2. I worry about him now getting to 2 strikes and hitting a gapper. After Kyle Hendricks, you want him to get one down here. I would think.
Yeah, take the out, right? Yeah.
Squares again. This time he does get the bunt down. Rizzo will get it to Zobrist for the out. Nick Ahmed 0 for 6 in this series after starting the year with 3 consecutive 2-hit games against the Rockies. Again, his main job is just to play Gold Glove caliber defense. He'll give you whatever he can with the bat.
He's already made 2 or 3 sparkling plays in this series.
Guy who knows Nick Ahmed very well from his days at University of Connecticut, John Andreoli. Pretty good group they put out around that time. George Springer, Mike Olt. Bryant to Rizzo. 2 down.
second baseman, Segura.
Here's Segura.
Say a lot of soft and try to stay out of the zone with Segura. First pitch sinker for strike one. He's been hammering the fastball. He's been hammering just about anything in the strike zone. Put the jump on him and then expand.
There you go. 0-2. So, all right, can you throw 4 pitches completely outside that box? You think he won't swing at one of them? You think he would, right?
Yes.
Well, he does. That was a pretty good pitch. Too good.
Too much plate there.
Yep.
They got away with it.
Hayward catches it on the warning track. 3-0 Cubs after 3.
This just got interesting. Why pause to take a pill? Or stop to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is approved to treat both erectile dysfunction and the urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain or Adempas for pulmonary hypertension, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis and a $200 savings card.
Ace is a place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Tia's garden wasn't looking so good.
Ace is a place to grow veggies that your kids still won't eat.
Now through Monday, don't miss over $250 in instant savings on select products store-wide, including our best brands like Miracle Grow.
Watch me know, 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 watch me know.
Get ready to play. Buy an LG G5 and get a second battery and charging cradle free.
Monday night on CSN, get ready for a battle in the Big Easy as your Bulls look for a win over the Pelicans. Starting at 6:30 and streaming live at csnchicago.com or on the NBC Sports Live Extra app. Brought to you by Xfinity.
Join CSN Chicago for 2016's first taping of Beer Money, the trivia show that tests your sports knowledge in exchange for cash. Taping starts Tuesday, April 12th. 5:30 at Pinheads in Yorkville. Beer Money presented by Coors Light.
Cubs lead this one 3-0. What have we learned here in the first 3 innings? We should stop, wake up, and smell the burning wine.
We're going to smell the mimeograph, test papers. Smell the roses. We're smelling the coffee. Smell the flowers.
Maybe the Spinal Tap album was about baseball. Smell the glove.
Yeah, you see infielders do that every now and then.
Yeah. 1-2 on Hendricks. Singled in his first try back in the second inning.
You're looking at a man with a 1,000 batting average.
By the way, to wrap up our conversation about the grunting, I don't think Greinke even knows he's doing it. I bet you it's just what he does. Called strike 3. It's 3 straight strikeouts now as he seems to be settling down.
Got his mojo here. Saturday, April 23rd is the 11th annual Race to Wrigley charity run presented by ATI Physical Therapy. The 5K course runs through the streets of Lakeview and concludes at Wrigley Field. Cubs Charities will donate proceeds to support critical care needs for pediatric patients in Chicago through Advocate Children's Hospital. Sign up at racetowrigley.com.
Fowler looks at ball 1. He's slumping. 0 for 2 to start the game. He reached 13 of the first 19 plate appearances.
And 2 out of 20 now against the Greinke in his career is Dexter, and 10 strikeouts. So he has not seen the ball very well off this talented right-hander. Greinke 51 wins against 15 losses in his 3 years as a Dodger with a 2.30 ERA.
Outside corner, 3-1.
Oof.
3-2.
Our pitch tracks agreed with Eric Cooper that you don't often see a breaking ball that high called the strike.
Like a changeup for ball 4.
Right fielder Jason Hayward.
We'll bring up Jason Hayward. And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Rhinebeck Telecommunications Utility in Rhinebeck, Iowa. Cubs lead 3-0. They got their 3 in the first. They've had base runners in every inning against Greinke.
Greinke normally pretty efficient, but they're making him throw a lot of pitches.
He was a shortstop in high school. Hi, Anthony. Before becoming a starting pitcher his senior year. Committed to Clemson before signing with the Kansas City Royals after being a high draft pick, 6th overall pick. Here's his 0-2, and he strikes out Hayward. So his last 5 outs have been strikeouts.
Second baseman.
That's a power changeup again, 89 miles an hour this time.
Greinke debuted in the big leagues 2004 with Kansas City. He dealt with some anxiety issues a couple of years later, 2006. 3 years after that, he was the American League Cy Young winner.
He talked about leaving the game.
One and one. Driven out of the deep center. Owings on the move. He will not get there. Fowler coming around third. He will score, and it's 4-0. Ben Zobrist with the RBI double, and he's been on 3 times tonight.
Well, after that first inning, Greinke had really started to assert himself, racking up the strikeouts lately, but Zobrist jumps on that thigh-high fastball, gives it a merry ride out there to deep center field. So the walk to Fowler comes back to bite Greinke.
So Greinke has now allowed 11 earned runs in his first 2 starts. Not even 2 complete starts. He gave up 41 earned runs in 32 starts last year.
It's a crazy game.
It sure is. Look out. Just off the inside corner and against Anthony Rizzo. That can be perilous considering how much he hugs the plate. Cubs need 1 win here these next 2 days for a winning road trip. They'd love to grab both and go home 5-1. Steele will not have a play.
Has to be a little frustrating, or perhaps annoying would be a better word, for the Diamondback fans here in the ballpark to have Greinke give it up again here tonight after really giving it up in his debut with them and having so many Cub fans on hand to cheer the Cubs.
Two. Rizzo able to hold up. Full count.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. 1, 4. I believe I'd have to double check. But Greinke has given up more runs now this year than he did in any calendar month last year. I mean, he was so good, start to finish, so consistent.
walked him.
Third baseman, Chris Bryant.
So 2 on for Bryant, who doubled home a run as part of that 3-run first frame. Rookie of the year last year in the National League. Up in 99 runs.
I don't know if it's because we're just coming out of spring training or if this is the approach that the Diamondbacks are taking, but their middle infielders have been ducking in a lot, trying to get their pitchers to make pickoff throws at second base, and I'm not sure that their timing is always good. A lot of times you see that because you work on all these pickoff plays in spring training, and early in the year teams will do it a little bit more than they normally would, usually until somebody airmails one, and then the manager says, you know what, let's not worry too much about that. Let's just get the hitter out.
Yeah.
Guess you can understand Segura's thinking out there. His pitcher's in trouble. He's already given up 4, so he's going to try to steal an out for him.
That'll get out of play down the right field line. Well, it seems like every year we mention this, that you can, as a hitter, you can hide a slump in June or July, as the batting average won't fluctuate that much. And if you're a pitcher, you can have 2 or 3 bad starts. Your ERA won't be affected that much. High in the air to center, backpedaling is Owings onto the dirt. But man, when it's your first 2 or 3 starts, really stands out. Greinke has struggled mightily here early. Hanging out in the pool. Cubs add to their lead.
Which side is our best side? This one? That one? You know what? Actually, our best side is this one. Our heart. Because only an airline with a heart would give you great deals like this. Now you can fly for as low as $69 one way. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Nobody should go to bed hungry.
That's where our friends at Benny's Beverage Depot are going to bat for the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Every time the Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's donates $100 to help feed hungry families in Chicagoland.
That calls for a toast.
These creamery shakes are so rich and creamy.
I know. Finally a shake for an aficionado like myself.
Wait, you're a shake aficionado?
Not a shake aficionado. The shake aficionado.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, perhaps you could be one too. Go ahead.
It's a coolness. It's cold.
Oh, okay. Ice cream is cold. Stop the presses, guys. Ice cream is cold. Says Pete. Printed.
New slow-churned creamery shakes are here in premium flavors like bourbon brown sugar. And all shakes are half price after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
Closed captioning of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by U.S. Waterproofing.
A little seepage in your basement is no need to panic. Count on the experts at U.S. Waterproofing to diagnose and repair the problem. For a free consultation, call 888-SEEPAGE or visit seepage.com.
Wednesday night on CSN Plus, the Cubs will go under the lights at Wrigley Field against the division rival Cincinnati Reds. Coverage starts at 6:30 on CSN Plus. Reds a 5-1 winner over the Pirates. So Pittsburgh suffering its first loss of the year. Pirates and Reds are 4-1. The Cubs are trying to improve to 4-1. Cardinals are up 7-2 in Atlanta in the 6th. They don't want to fall 4 games off the lead. Actually, 3 games back. are the Cardinals. They're 1-3.
Yeah, that's the conversation that's going to pop up in some of these towns where teams get off to slow starts, and the players will all say, "Well, it's not time to panic yet." That's kind of what you say, and then by the time you say, "Yeah, it is time to panic," it's too late, because it's not time to panic.
Well, you never hear it's time to panic,
yeah,
right?
Because you're done. At that point, by the time you realize it, you have no chance.
Listen to a manager in his pregame session with media. By the way, I just want to announce it is time to panic. Leadoff single, Chris Owings.
Second hit of the ball game here for the Diamondbacks. A leadoff knock in the third. Chip Hale had Zach Greinke bunting along, and then Kyle Hendricks got the next 2 men out. Obviously, they're not going to be bunting here because here comes their big slugger, Paul Goldschmidt. Chris Owings really busting it down the first baseline. That's the thinking. It should always be the thinking, but certainly in a big ballpark like this where outfielders have to travel far to run down base hits.
High for ball one.
Saw Goldschmidt try it and get caught last night, and we saw Chris Bryant turn a single into a double here this evening.
Runner back. There are 2 teams without a win. The Phillies are 0-4, but they have a 1-0 lead late in New York. They're in the 8th inning. The Twins are 0-4, and they're not doing so well. Down 7-0 in the 7th in Kansas City. So if anybody wants to panic there, runner goes, and he's safe. Owings is in with a stolen base. Meantime, 3-0 on Goldschmidt.
Well, the Diamondbacks obviously like the math. They like the release times on Hendricks, and they feel like they can run on Montero because the game situation didn't really save run down 4 with Goldschmidt hitting. But Owings must have been very confident that he could get that bag. Phillies are never going to panic this year because they have no expectation of being good.
Good point. They're in a rebuild. The 3-1 is hit into the right field corner. Hayward is over, and no play.
Strategy for the Cubs against Goldschmidt is just to stay away. A lot of stuff off the plate, sliders away. He does hit the ball very well to right center. You make a mistake on the inner half and can hit it a long way. He'll also take that pitch moving in on him and drive it the other way.
Diving stab, Addison Russell.
Kid can flat out play the position. You know, we were over in Anaheim talking about Anderson Simmons, who's one of the best in the business. Same thing with Nick Ahmed here in Arizona, and maybe not giving Addison Russell his due because he too is among the elite defensive shortstops in the game. We saw it time and time again last year. This kid making tremendous plays in both directions. Hang with him.
Came up as a second baseman, but a natural shortstop as Peralta grounds out to Zobrist. So, man, in a matter of 2 pitches, Kyle Hendricks went from possible major jam with no outs to a runner at third and 2 outs. Still not out of the woods. Well, these become huge sequences, don't they, for a pitcher who is fighting and clawing, and all of a sudden he gets the second out of an inning.
Yeah, you know, most pitchers in most starts are faced with 1, possibly 2 crisis points, even in a good start. It will kind of tell the story of your game. And, you know, most guys nowadays, you get through 6 into the 7th, you know they're going to go to the bullpen. So you have to face that middle of the order the second and third time. And a lot of times that's the story. Get through 3, 4, 5 unscathed the second time around, and you know the bullpen's ready to bail you out the next time you get in trouble, if there is a next time. Almost felt like if you could get through the first 3 innings scoreless, you were in great shape, because you know next time through the meat of the order, even if you give up a run or 2, you've given your club a chance to put some runs on the board.
And Castillo draws the walk. First and third, and that'll bring up Tomas.
Now batting, left fielder, Tomas.
These 2 teams will meet up for a 3-game set at Wrigley Field June 3rd through the 5th. This is a 4-game series that'll end tomorrow.
Manny Tomas resembles Marlon Byrd a little bit to me. We've been seeing a lot of sliders away in this series.